been a Jackie Chan superfan for many, many, many years. I've watched his films over and over again. Hell, in my top 5 favorite action films, 3 of them are Jackie Chan movies. Which is why this is a pretty difficult video to make. Certainly not one I ever expected to make. But yeah, let's be clear right up front, I adore Jackie Chan's movies. From his intricate fight scenes to his sense of humor to his jaw-dropping stunts. Take his iconic clock tower drop from Project A, one of the biggest and most iconic stunts of his lengthy career and of all time. A drop from multiple stories high as he tears through a couple of thin awnings and slams straight into the ground below. All showcased in a crystal clear wide shot. Nobody else could have pulled that off. Right? Well, no, not right. I'm sorry to say, that's not Jackie. This is Jackie, but this is his stunt double. I know you probably think he never used a stunt double, but that's his stunt double, I promise you. Even slowed down, it's still hard to tell in motion, but freeze frame at the right moment and you can see that's clearly not Jackie. Even after watching and rewatching the film an excessive amount, I thought it was him for the longest time, and I've been guilty of attributing this stunt solely to him in old videos in the past. I would hazard to guess that most, if not all of you watching thought it was him too. That's what we've been told after all.
The action hero who does all his own stunts. Jackie Chan.
You did all the stunts yourself?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Some of you might still think it's him, and that's totally fine. It was tough for me to believe at first, too. It was the Jude Poyer interview on Scott Adkins' The Art of Action podcast that really opened my eyes. Poyer is a British stuntman and stunt coordinator who worked extensively within the Hong Kong martial arts scene, including with Jackie Chan directly. He personally knows all of the Hong Kong stunt performers who often go unnamed. And in this interview, he speaks quite candidly and dispels some of the myths surrounding the genre and industry. And he broke down this stunt in particular.
Well, we're all there to see Jackie Chan, aren't we? Jackie Chan do his own stunts, so he did it 3 times, right?
Well, I'm not going to try and take anything away from Jackie Chan. So, you know, he's like one of the gods of action. He's one of my heroes. He's inspired generations of stunt people. I was fortunate to record an interview with Mars, who was one of the stunt team on the film. And then Mars told me that they shot it at least 3 times. And the first time a stunt guy did it and he got injured. And that's in the outtakes at the end of the movie. And I think you've got the clip of that.
This one is not Jackie.
I think possibly not. I don't know that as a fact. I think it's possible that a stuntman or 2 stuntmen did it, one after the other, one of them being Mars.
But okay, part of what Poyer says is sort of speculation. He's maybe hedging his bets a little bit. I understand if you're still in disbelief. But there's definitive confirmation in the 2020 documentary Kung Fu Stuntmen. It features first-hand interviews with pretty much every single Hong Kong stuntman from that era who's still around today. And it's a great reminder of not just how little credit they get, but also how demanding their work was and how little care or attention was paid to their safety. These guys were expected to just do whatever was asked of them, even if it would almost certainly result in a trip to the hospital, or permanent injury, or even potential death.
给他开枪，从很高地方掉下来，到这个溜冰场中间，那是真的，从上面真的摔下来。国外的武行的人来看我们的班，他看到我们，就跟我们的武行说：“这样你们也敢做吗？这个动作谁做谁死啊！”因为我明知道这个动作下去是手伤进医院的，因为那么高。 你底下没有他的命，冰那多硬啊，那多硬啊！你不是让我蹦下来呀、你是让我站在那儿用背下来，背呀。
But back to Project A. Within the film, you see 3 different versions of the stunt. 2 are played back-to-back within the scene where the stunt takes place, and a third, botched version of the fall plays in the outtake reel during the end credits. To his credit, Jackie Chan himself did do one of these falls. In the final take within the film, he hits the ground, gets up, and continues acting in the same take. It's indisputable, and it's an incredible stunt. However, the story that persists is that Chan was initially terrified of the stunt. Then, once he finally built up the courage to do it, he wasn't satisfied with the way he fell. So he did it again and again.
In fact, it took Jackie 7 days before he finally summed up the courage to do it. He told his stunt team to go away and leave him hanging, literally. Now there's no trick photography, no strings, no mattress, nothing to soften the fall except for those 2 awnings. It's as real as it looks, and as crazy as that is, he wasn't satisfied with the first take, so he did it 3 times.
But the truth is, only one of these 3 falls is Jackie. The truth is, the stunt did terrify him, to such an extent that he wasn't going to do it at all at first. After his stunt double did it once and failed, then did it again successfully, Jackie then did the final fall. Poyer suggests it may have been 2 different stunt doubles who did each of the falls, but Kung Fu Stuntman says it was the same stunt double both times. And in fact, the fall isn't just any random stuntman, it's Mars, who's also a member of the film's supporting cast in the substantial role of Jaws.
一句话，他在那个大钟楼跳下来那个这个帐篷一个多一个下来，那到底每一个帐篷能够把你的力减了多少了？都是靠大家的经验去猜呀。找个王，火星，先做。我现在体重跟大哥差不多，你做了还没死啊，大哥就来了这样子。他头一天跳了好像不行。
Mars was part of the Jackie Chan stunt team, and the two worked together on some 50-plus films. Mars's distinctive face and memorable name are likely to be recognized by hardcore kung fu fans, and he had a few notable supporting roles, but he never got his time in the spotlight. He's still making movies to this day, but often appearing in unnamed bit parts. And that's if he's even credited at all. He frequently isn't. And he also takes on other assorted crew jobs these days just to make ends meet, since he's now too old to perform most stunts, and he didn't take off as an action choreographer or coordinator after making a go of that for a while. 100% of the credit for this stunt always goes to Jackie, but Mars pulled off the same death-defying feat, and he deserves some of the respect and adulation for it. In Project A, Jackie Chan did one of the best stunts of all time. But so did Mars. Not only did he do the stunt first, not only did he do it twice, but he also took a nasty injury on the botched fall. For his bravery, his skill, and his pain, he deserves his share of the credit for this iconic stunt. It's no accident that most fans of Jackie Chan believe he does all of his own stunts. It's what we're told. Jackie Chan does all his own stunts for real, no stunt doubles ever. That's the line we're sold, either explicitly or implicitly, whether by the marketing machine, the man himself, or other film critics and kung fu fans spreading their love and respect for what they think is true. But none of that makes it true.
Sure. Yeah. Do you ever think maybe I should get a stuntman? I'm a huge box office star. Maybe get...
Yeah, sometimes yes, but the audience into the theater, they really concentrate on me.
Yeah.
They will look at double, there's a double or not. Because I've been doing this for a long time. Maybe in United States, it's a new star. But no, in our country, I'm the antique. I've been doing the stunt fighting like 15 years now.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm used to double, the audience won't forgive me.
Nobody expects Jackie to do all of his own stunts within his Hollywood movies or his movies made in recent years when he's in his 50s and 60s. But they do for his films made within the golden age of Hong Kong action cinema. A big part of the draw of these movies is knowing that everything you see on screen is done by Jackie 100% for real. But the reality is, that's just a carefully manufactured perception. As reported in this Taipei Times article from 2007, it was a big scandal when a Hong Kong stuntman nonchalantly revealed that he had served as Jackie Chan's stunt double. He didn't realize how big of a deal it was. Other stuntmen knew he had doubled for Jackie, and he knew other stuntmen who had also doubled for Jackie. But it was a big enough revelation to many of Jackie's fans that a PR spokesperson for Jackie put out a statement reassuring people that he does do his own stunts. And they tried to make it sound like the stunt double usage was a requirement of his Hollywood movies. But, well, we know he used stunt doubles in Hong Kong too. That PR person's spinning was completely successful though, and this idea that Jackie Chan ever used stunt doubles in the Hong Kong film industry was pretty much forgotten about. The stunt double who let it slip was Bruce Law, who just like Mars is still working to this day and has been involved in tons of incredible films, but never got the spotlight or his due personal recognition. And so that's two people, Mars and Bruce Law, and they're not the only ones.
This is Simon Rhee, stuntman, actor extraordinaire. Did I miss anything?
Jackie Chan stunt double.
Jackie Chan stunt double.
In what is a pretty well-kept secret, Jackie Chan does use stunt doubles, and in fact he uses them pretty frequently, even for smaller things like pieces of fight scenes. Take his big final fight from Dragons Forever, for example. This is one of Jackie's best fight scenes, and it has the added value of being a rematch between Jackie and Benny the Jet, whom he fought years earlier in Wheels on Meals in another one of his best fight scenes. It doesn't take anything away from the excitement and thrill of the fight, but there are points where you can clearly see that Jackie is using a stunt double. Sometimes the film even puts his stunt doubles in slow motion with their faces clearly visible. I mean, just look at this. That's not Jackie. That's a stuntman named Karlok Chin, who doubled Jackie in other movies as well. Benny the Jet also gets a stunt double at points in this fight.
大哥问我行不行啊？那我一定说行。
为什么要不受伤就变宝了？就是你没受过伤呢？
When he was a stuntman, he doubled for everybody. He doubled for Jackie, he doubled for Yun Yu, he doubled for Sammo. And now he's a director and an action director in Hong Kong.
Take it easy. We got plenty of time. 20 seconds! Come on! Yeah!
Most of the time, the film will have successfully guided your eye to the right places and sold the trickery with movement. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you've noticed it for the first time, the whole facade starts to crumble, and you start to see it more and more in Jackie's work. It's fairly constant, as a matter of fact, and it isn't even particularly well hidden some of the time. Here are a bunch of quick examples from a pair of videos by the YouTube channel Fight Scene Film School, pointing out Jackie Chan's stunt doubles in Thunderbolt, which is a film where he seemed to rely on stunt doubles a whole lot more than usual due to the broken ankle he had just sustained making Rumble in the Bronx. But as we've seen from these other examples, an injury isn't the only time he relied on a stunt double.
Basically had them film it entirely with a stunt double, and then he showed up after the fights were already filmed, and they kind of just plugged him in with some insert shots and had him do this and that. You can tell in some shots they didn't even try to cover up the fact that it was a double.
The more you look, the more you'll see Jackie's stunt doubles hidden in plain sight, which would be totally fine if not for the widespread insistence that he does all of his own stunts 100% of the time. And just to reiterate, it does not diminish Jackie's talents and abilities. He does still do the lion's share of his stunts and fights, but it does impact his frankly impossible reputation as an unstoppable, unequalable superhuman, and it serves as a compelling argument for sharing the love and acclaim afforded to him with the others in his orbit. To be crystal clear, even with this revelation, Jackie should still be hailed as one of the greatest action stars of all time, and the performer of many of the greatest stunts ever shot. And in terms of actors who are inextricably linked with the feat of doing their own stunts, he still comes out leaps and bounds ahead of most of the competition. In Hollywood, that title tends to go to Tom Cruise, but it's not even in the same ballpark. Tom Cruise's stunts all look huge and impressive, but they're not actually dangerous in the way that Jackie's stunts are. Sure, hanging onto the side of a plane as it takes off seems crazy, but he's clipped to a short metal cable. If he loses his grip, nothing happens. He's not going anywhere. And then the part that actually could be painful, getting sucked inside the plane afterward, is instead handled by a shitty CGI digi-double with wonky physics. Whereas Jackie Chan doing this? You bet your ass that's a dangerous stunt. The list of injuries Jackie sustained from that stunt alone are enough to make your head spin. There's a reason why the film shows you multiple instant replays of the entire stunt, and then shows you the entire stunt multiple times again at the start of the sequel. Tom Cruise's stunts are still cool and fun, but they're not on Jackie's level. And they're not on Jackie's stunt doubles levels either. That's the point. there's actually a different Hollywood star that we can look to for the ideal way to handle this sort of thing. Keanu Reeves. Keanu puts in the work. He's extremely dedicated, committed, and talented. Now, Keanu Reeves might handle the vast majority of the John Wick fights and shootouts on his own, but he does still have a stunt double, actually more than one stunt double. And in classic good guy Keanu fashion, he takes the opportunity to acknowledge and name-check his stunt double in high-profile environments. A humble, respectful move you'd be hard-pressed to find another movie star doing.
Okay, so I'll do some fight scenes and then John Wick will get hit by a car, and that's Jackson Spidell. Who's an amazing, yes, who's an amazing stuntman. And
yes.
He gets hit by the car. Then I'll get up from the car, and then I'll do a whole bunch more of like gun fu and whatever, and jujitsu, judo, and then maybe, you know, then if I get thrown off of something, then Jackson does his thing.
Naming the guy is really going above and beyond, but at the very least, action stars shouldn't pretend that they do all their own stunts when they don't.
You did all the stunts yourself?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
And does it hurt Keanu's reputation or the audience's perception of the John Wick films to acknowledge that he relies on a stunt double sometimes? No, of course not. Just like it doesn't do anything to diminish the quality of Jackie Chan's many action masterpieces, there are practical reasons for an action star to need a stunt double that have nothing to do with the lack of ability or commitment on the part of the star. First, whether we're talking about Jackie or Keanu, there are some stunts and action beats that are simply too complex for the star to pull off. Not through their own failing, but because they're more specialized.
You do all your own stunts?
Not all. If I'm on fire, it's not me. You know, but actually in Spawn, it was me.
It was
yeah, because I'm stupid like that.
Are there stuntmen? Have stuntmen been used in the various films that you filmed, or no, not at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jackie might need a more acrobatic performer to step in for a particularly complex kick, while Keanu might need a stunt double to take a particularly nasty spill down some stairs. Second is the insurance issue, which can cause major complications for big-budgeted productions. And third, some stunts are just too dangerous for the star. It sounds gross to call a stunt double expendable, but that's how the film industry views them in relation to the star that they're doubling. If Jackie or Keanu sustain a debilitating injury doing a stunt, that shuts production down, pushes back the targeted release date, and can cost millions of dollars to rearrange and reschedule everything. And that has happened in Jackie's case multiple times. Whereas if the stunt double sustains the same injury on the same stunt, the production still has its star and can keep shooting while the stunt double recovers, or they can bring in a new stunt double to take over. Forever hiding a stunt performer's face allows them to fill in for the star and keep up the illusion of the fiction, of course. But it also makes them interchangeable amongst their own kind. Contrary to what some believe, a stunt performer's job is to use their skills and expertise to handle dangerous or risky feats in as safe a way as possible. Their job is not to throw their life on the line and sustain guaranteed injuries for the sake of a film. At least not on any ethical film set. Cough, cough, fuck you, Paul W.S. Anderson, cough, cough. But that's a video for another day. All action stars with big bodies of work use stunt doubles from time to time. That holds true across the board, no matter what you might have heard from them or from others. Michelle Yeoh is another action star who is often labeled as doing all her own stunts, and she even says so herself. Just like Jackie, she's extremely talented and does do a lot of her own stunts, but she doesn't do all of them. That's just not true. Here's a quote from her in an interview for RogerEbert.com. Quote, "For me, it was just totally unacceptable that someone else would do my stunts. It was supposed to be me, so why should anybody else do it?" End quote. And on the subject of Super Cop, she said, "There are no special effects in that, quote, no, that's a real train. I'm really doing that motorcycle jump from the road onto the moving train." End quote. It's a great stunt. Fantastic. You could hear Quentin Tarantino gush about it even.
And look no further than Michelle Yeoh jumping a motorcycle onto a speeding train.
But did she really do it? Just like Jackie's clock tower drop from Project A, I again thought for years that Michelle Yeoh really did this stunt. I mean, she said so herself. But I'm sorry to say that it was actually Bruce Law again. The same guy who caused a controversy when he let it slip that he doubled for Jackie also popped a wig on and doubled for Michelle Yeoh for this stunt. Remember, Jude Poyer personally knows Bruce Law and got this information straight from the man himself.
I know for a fact she was on wire. Bruce Law told me that he saw the behind the scenes of Terminator 2 and the motorcycle jump in that, and he was like, okay, we can drop her onto the train using wires. So what you actually have is Bruce Law doubles Michelle Yeoh for a jump, and he jumped over the train onto boxes.
See, I've seen that, and I thought it was her doing it. That's what really amazed me.
Yeah, so she's doing a small jump. I mean, that's all credit to her. That's a real motorcycle jump. But the following on shot is Bruce Law, and then...
So
that's Bruce.
Bruce Law?
That's Bruce Law, and he's not going onto the train. He's going over the train.
So this is her doing a smaller jump on a moving train?
Yeah, but it's not a jump. She's levitating on wires. Bike is completely wired.
Okay.
And the train's going, and then they just lower the bike. I say just, it's very impressive stuff. They lower the bike onto the train.
Right, okay.
And then the wires get painted out.
Stunt performers already get so little credit. They're already so overlooked. They don't need the stars they doubled also erasing them from cinema history. Wherever you look, you will constantly see this stunt attributed 100% to Michelle Yeoh alone. She was still involved and still did plenty of dangerous stunts for the film, but I think it's extremely important to give credit to the unnamed stunt doubles taking huge risks for the sake of the star's screen image. No matter who you've heard does 100% of their own stunts, they don't. There are exceptions within individual films, but not across entire bodies of work. Yes, the giant finale of Once Upon a Time in China is partly performed by Jet Li, but it's mostly performed by 3 different stunt doubles sharing the load as they worked 31 consecutive 16-hour days for this single sequence.
每一个动作都得踢，那你一个人是踢不下来的。
都是我啊，熊继新啊，还有一个师弟叫凌志华的。
天16个小时，我们拍了31天。
Even Bruce Lee used a stunt double frequently. Bruce Lee even referred to his stunt double Yuen-Wah as his better half.
Yuen-Wah was one of Sammo's team. He was an excellent acrobat. It's Yuen-Wah doubling Bruce Lee for the flips in Enter the Dragon. And for instance, if you look at the opening of Enter the Dragon with the monks, when Bruce's character runs, does a round off and then back somersaults over the outstretched arms of the monks, that's the kind of move that Yuen-Wah was very good at.
I think he also does the kip up, doesn't he? When he throws a punch, because I always look at that and go, that's not Bruce Lee's butt.
Yeah, he doubled Bruce Lee for that, for the kip up, and he doubled Bruce Lee for the backflip with O'Hara.
Yet the entire world knows the name Bruce Lee and the various legends that surround his persona as a man of action, and few even know he used a stunt double, let alone know the name of that extremely talented individual. This guy did things Bruce Lee couldn't. I mean, just let that sink in. Why don't we know his name? Outside of this one interview, in this one documentary, it's rare to ever hear Hong Kong stunt doubles discussed or even credited. You're far more likely to hear that Jackie Chan does all his own stunts, Sammo Hung does all his own stunts, Michelle Yeoh does all her own stunts, etc., etc. Stunt doubles are and were commonplace in both Hollywood and Hong Kong, but Hollywood tends to acknowledge the stunt performers more. Still not nearly enough, but they're at least credited and they aren't completely swept under the rug, like in the Hong Kong film industry. And I think that's because the Hong Kong action stars really do perform so much of their own action, that the moments where doubles are used are more likely to be perceived as cheats or failings or indicators of weakness. They shouldn't be perceived that way, but that's the expectation, and thus the manufactured reputations blossom. Reputations as superhuman action stars built on the shattered legs and broken backs of uncredited stuntmen. I was definitely a little shocked and a bit in disbelief upon first learning the extent of Jackie's stunt double usage, but it doesn't change my opinion on any of his films. The purpose of this video isn't to tear down any of these action stars necessarily, but instead to sing the praises of the stunt doubles who have contributed in important ways to some of the best action films of all time while being almost entirely forgotten from cinema history. Many of the legendary stuntmen involved in that documentary fell on hard financial times as they aged out of their line of work and couldn't keep up with the next generations, and a lot of them had to leave the film industry entirely for unrelated everyday careers. They have done more than enough to secure a permanent legacy in the history of action filmmaking, but their recognition is often minimal, if not outright erased. The film industry and cinephiles alike can and should always show more respect and appreciation for not just these specific stunt doubles, but for all stunt performers. Thanks for watching. Stick around if you want more video essays and things like this, or not. Whatever. Oh, hey, one last little bonus treat for those of you who stuck around all the way to the end of this super long video. While I was editing this, I found the footage to a shitty old short film that I briefly served as someone's stunt double in. Here it is. There's the actor doing some shooting. That's me under the mask getting shot. And then that's also me under that other mask getting shot. And then that's me in the actor's trench coat to do this gun flipping thing that he couldn't do cleanly. And then boom, it's back to the actor. So not even a stunt really, but I was doubling someone. Anyway, just a bit of fun. Thanks for watching to the end. Bye.